region and 25 degrees expected in the south, the littoral region, and 23 degrees in the southwest region. For details, ladies and gentlemen, let's go first to the Adamawa region, where precipitation are expected only in Tibati this evening. The rest will be cloudy. The same weather condition will prevail until the morning, where Banyo only will be having precipitation and thunderstorms. Next, let's go to the northwest region, where the whole region will be having showers and thunderstorms. But in the morning, it will be quite calm because Wum and Fundo will not have precipitation. Let's end now with the central region, where precipitation are expected in the whole region with thunderstorms. The situation will prevail until the morning, so do not forget to have your umbrellas and to cover yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, with such weather condition, I encourage you to select your groundnut for cultivation. Good night. God bless you.
That was the weather forecast with Crise Production.
As leader in third-generation audiovisual content, Crise Production offers you tomorrow's solutions today. Digital video production and broadcast, data-less e-learning platforms, virtual and augmented reality. Crise Production, mastery of innovation. Even perfection evolves.
The President of the Republic, Paul Biya, has received in audience an envoy from Equatorial Guinea with whom he discussed the possibilities of raising funds to construct a bridge over the same river linking both countries. The company constructing the Bolova Gyneco-Obstetric and Pediatric Hospital tells Public Health Minister Manauda Malashi that the hospital is ready to use and pending inauguration. 60 cyclists from 10 cycling teams in Cameroon, Africa and Europe have been presented to the public to begin the 17th edition of the International Cycling Tour tomorrow. Those are top stories. 28th of May 2021. Good evening and welcome to the 7:30 News. I am Benin Bumagana in Yaoundé.
I have personally observed that most of our fellow citizens no longer comply with the protective measures prescribed by the government.
Once again, good evening and welcome. The government of Congo has expressed satisfaction for contracting with Cameroon as a new partner to develop and jointly exploit the Mbalam and Nebaba iron ore projects. The Congolese Minister of State for Mining Industries and Geology, Pierre Oba, spoke for his country after an audience with Prime Minister Joseph Dion Gute. Star Building correspondent Christian Cheatam reports.
Significant changes are taking place in the management of the Mbalam-Nebaba Trans-Border Iron Ore Project between Cameroon and Congo. Since December last year, the Congolese government cancelled the contract of the subsidiary of the Australian firm executing the project in Nebaba and contracted a different partner. The visit by the Congolese government official to Prime Minister Joseph Dion Gute was to put him abreast of the situation and explain the options taken on the Congolese side.
Il s'agit d'un projet.
It is a trans-border mining project for iron ore, which our two countries decided to exploit together. It had difficulties because of the inability of our partners. So we decided to cancel the contract and find new partners to continue the project so that our populations can feel
the The Congolese member of government says his country remains committed to the joint execution of the project with Cameroon. The Congolese official says he will continue meeting with other members of government in Cameroon to seek ways of strengthening integration through projects which can create an impact on the lives of the population.
For reasons of production, let's get back to our main story. President Paul Biya has received an audience and envoy from Equatorial Guinea, with whom he discussed the possibilities of raising funds to construct a bridge over the Nsem River to link both countries. The envoy, Balthazar Ngonga Ejo, Minister of State in charge of regional integration, was bearer of a message from President Teodoro Obiang. Chief Unity Palace correspondent Ashunyenti reports.
If there is one emissary within CEMAC whose visits to Unity Palace can be described as very regular, that envoy is Balthazar Ngonga Ejo, Equatorial Guinea's Minister of State in charge of regional integration. This Friday, 28 May 2021, he is again dispatched by his principal, President Teodoro Obiang Bazogo, to confer with his Cameroonian counterpart Paul Biya on reinforcing friendship and cooperation ties between both countries. For over 1 hour, the special envoy presents a message from his president to the Cameroonian head of state on a wide range of cooperation issues which have a sub-regional ramification and the capacity to ease regional integration, especially Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea have a common project, that is the construction of a bridge over the Nsem River, which will ease exchanges between both countries and improve commercial activities. Indeed, one of the issues discussed in this audience is how to make this project start off immediately. We need to accelerate the administrative formalities that would allow for the necessary disbursement of funds to begin this giant project. This particular project has the potential to boost sub-regional integration. President Paul Biya, being the sitting chairman of the Conference of CEMAC Heads of State, as well as president of a beneficiary country, his input is necessary. Balthazar leaves hoping that he got the president's ears.
And farmers from the 10 regions of the country are in Yaoundé to share experience in food preservation in order to boost availability in the market. This is in our 2-day innovation forum that started today. Let's get details from Joy Starter.
50 best innovative produce in agriculture under display in Cameroon at the Farmers Innovation Fair, an initiative to bring to the limelight activities in the rural field.
The main objective is to give our own contribution in promoting food security in our country, Cameroon. And we are doing this through valorization of what farmers are doing. There is innovation in pesticide, there is innovation in crop production, mechanization, transformation of product. So there are various kinds of innovation.
To exhibitors from all 10 regions of Cameroon, this opportunity is timely.
We are in this innovation to present pigeon pea, which is a leguminous plant that has a high capacity of synthesizing air, nitrogen, and fixing it in the soil through its nodules to stock nitrogen. And we use this plant to restore soil fertility.
The fair wraps up on Saturday, expected to equally boost job creation in the nation.
The Minister of Public Health, Manauda Malashi, has described as satisfactory the level of construction of the Bolova Gynecobstetric and Pediatrics Hospital. The construction company informed the minister on 2-day working visit that the referral hospital is ready for use. Clarence Aze with details.
From the exterior view, the Bolova Referral Hospital is a giant, beautiful edifice whose splendor radiates the former agricultural village in Galan. Engineers on the side have told Public Health Minister that the installation of medical equipment of the Gynecobstetrics and Pediatrics Hospital is near completion. The infrastructure is 100% complete, and even the installation of equipment as well. We are now training those to handle the equipment. After visiting the different sections of the infrastructural joel, Minister Manauda Malashi expressed satisfaction on the quality of work and that of the state-of-the-art medical equipment.
The infrastructure is already closed. I think we can make it operational in the same weeks. So we are going to do a proposition and wait when we are going to open it.
The hospital, constructed and equipped to the tune of 14 billion francs, has a capacity of 118 beds, laboratories, offices, and spread over a surface area of 12,000 meters square. Once inaugurated, it will offer specialties such as gynecology, obstetrics, pediatrics, physiotherapy, surgery, dentistry, medical imaging, and others. The people of the South region are quite eager as they await the inauguration of these other fruits of the 3-year emergency plan for the acceleration of economic growth prescribed in 2014 by President Paul Biya.
A modern science laboratory to enable young researchers and PhD students to do their work with ease has been inaugurated at the University of Yaoundé-Toussoua. The new science lab is the outcome of a cooperation between the University of Yaoundé-Toussoua and the International Federation of Pharmaceutical Manufacturers and Associations. Let's hear more from the coordinator of the lab, Professor Antono Chimi-Germain, speaking to Rainatou Sali.
Students, young researcher, and even professor will run research program, research activities such as international colloquium, conference, seminar, and even some specific teaching, specially addressed for PhD students. It is an important structure for the university, taking into consideration the vision of the rector, who is to build this university as Technopole des Sciences Sociales.
And that is the coordinator of the new science lab, Professor Antono Chimi-Germain, talking about the lab to Rainatou Sali. Let's go over to the far north region with the visit of the General René-Claude Meka to study the security situation in the far north region after the almost clear victory against Boko Haram. Details from the far north.
Day 2 of the Chief of Defense Staff's operational control mission that was behind closed doors at the headquarters of the 4th Combined Military Region centered on the evaluation and evolution of the security situation in the region. Lieutenant General René-Claude Meka, who had given some recommendations in his last mission, was satisfied with the report of the further weakening of Boko Haram, with one of the high points being the neutralization of members of the Boko Haram sect in Dabanga, where the military aborted the attack of a heavily armed sect. The Chief of Defense Staff, however, called for continuous vigilance and an intensification of controls and patrols, as well as tightened security along the Mora-Dabanga highway. The fight against COVID-19 did not also escape Lieutenant General René-Claude Meka, who instructed the continuous respect of barrier measures because, as the men in uniform put it, a healthy soldier is a ready soldier.
Chocolate and pastry makers from France have expressed interest in using Cameroonian cocoa for their products. This is the outcome of partnership agreement signed with the Minister of Trade and that of Agriculture. Details with Crise Aretakang.
Crowned the best in their field in France, these pastry chefs and chocolate makers have come to confirm their willingness to have Cameroon as one of the main suppliers of premium cocoa beans. While discussing farmer problems, the need to encourage growers' efforts was also raised through the improvement of working conditions.
The most important for the producer is the price, 1,640 francs per kilogram. And if you compare it with what is done in other countries, you see easily, very easily, the difference.
The choice was made based on a number of factors, evidence of good post-harvest techniques.
We find a good qualities of cacao because we have a good fermentation now, good drying cacao. There is a great attention from our customers who want to buy this cacao because our label is for the planters.
With officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, production challenges were raised and commitments taken to ensure that only the best of Cameroonian cocoa makes it to foreign markets. The promotion of local brands will therefore be guaranteed.
The giant agro-industrial corporation, the CDC, now has a new board chair. Hope Sona Ebai was unanimously elected by the board of directors of the corporation in an extraordinary board meeting at the Hilton Hotel here in Yaoundé. He replaces Benjamin Etoy and is expected to steer the struggling corporation into the right direction. Saliso Natafa reports.
Let the mowing and plowing begin. The giant agro-industrial corporation, CDC, aims for greater horizons with the election of its new board chair, Hope Sona Ebai.
I have known CDC from when I was a little boy, and I've known the importance that it's given not only to the region but to the country, but at the international level, which we hope that we can bring back. Partnerships that are economically viable are possible to be done.
With over a decade's experience as Secretary General of the prestigious Alliance of Cocoa-Producing Countries, COPAL, which accounts for about 75% of global cocoa production, the native of the Southwest region is expected to use his expertise to revive, shape, and transform the state-owned corporation from its current turbulence caused by the ongoing socio-political unrest and now the current health context.
In 2019, when we struck bottom, we went as low as 3.7 billion francs. The CDC family looks with a lot of hope in what has happened today.
Hope Sona Ebai replaces Benjamin Etoy, who completed his 2 terms as board chair of the Ailing Corporation.
About 250 Cameroonians in the littoral region have received medals of recognition for their devotedness and loyal services to the state and other medals of merit. The medals award ceremony at the Beseke Ceremonial Ground in Douala was presided over by the governor of the littoral. Details with Madon Kwele.
What other way to compensate these patriots for their endless efforts to the country than offering them medals of distinction? These 258 men and women in all in the littoral region have been awarded medals in recognition for their years of service in their different posts of duty by the head of state, President Paul Biya. The governor of the littoral region, Samuel Jodene Ivahadibo, and collaborators proceeded to the decorations of these fervent actors, with 22 elevated to the rank of the National Order of Valor, 123 to the National Order of Merit, 3 to the Order of Agricultural Merit, 2 to the Order of Sports Merit, and 108 adorned with the Medal of Public Order of Merit. All expressed gratitude to the President of the Republic with commitments to work harder.
This medal represents a symbolic gift from the head of state.
I am very happy. I only thank you to recognize that I am working.
Family members and friends turned out in their numbers to enjoy this important event in the life of their loved ones.
The people of Bakassa in the Nkam division, that is in the West region, are celebrating the life of their traditional ruler, His Royal Highness Ngako Sebastien, who traveled to be with the ancestors last March. His Royal Highness Ngako Sebastien led a 71-year-old reign, and as his subjects celebrate, they are now faced with an arduous task of catching a successor. Kelianda Ndifon.
At sunrise, Friday, May 28, the people of Bakassa Nkam division of the West region woke up with celebrations in honor of their king, His Royal Highness Ngako Sebastien, who passed on at the age of 97 with a record reign of 71 years on the throne from 1950, when he was 26, to 2021. The 13th paramount chief of Bakassa, Ngako Sebastien, will be replaced in the dynasty by the 14th in the line on Saturday, May 29. For the first time since the passing on of King Ngako Sebastien, his wives came out in public to commune with the children, grand and great children, who started celebrating the life of their king with a sports march which took them from the town square to the palace. A football match followed. He always preached understanding and unity amongst his people. The 71-year-old reign of King Gako Sebastien ends Saturday with the arrest of the 14 in line to be enthroned 3 months later.
This time, CRTV's veteran journalist Pascal Mebeaba, who died earlier this month, will be laid to rest in his hometown, Lum, in the Center region. CRTV's Director General Charles Ndongo, former colleagues of the CRTV and family members attended the coffin ceremony today at the mortuary of the Yaoundé Teaching Hospital. Beatrice Ngum here with the funeral story.
He served the CRTV for over 26 years. He sang for Christ from the beginning till the end. Jean-Pascal Mebeaba has embarked on his final journey to eternity. The veteran journalist whose voice in the yesteryears inspired many and whose service to the church saw him groom many choristers died since May 2. The death of Jean-Pascal has saddened his family and former colleagues, among them CRTV's Director General Charles Ndongo, who joined mourners to pay him tribute at the mortuary of the Yaoundé Teaching Hospital. His students of the St. Joseph Mukasa Institute of Philosophy in Colbison, where he lectured for over 2 decades, have paid him last respect as well. Jean-Pascal Mebeaba, the veteran journalist and choir master, retires to eternity at 67, survived by wife, children and grandchildren. Jean-Pascal Mebeaba, the journalist, teacher and choir master, is gone to the world beyond, where he will henceforth sing in the heavenly choir. He will be buried Saturday in his native Lum in the Center region.
In the same dirt, university lecturers have paid academic honors to the fallen Professor Michael Tade Eone, a media adept who spent 4 decades of his career in training students and was one-time editor-in-chief of Radio Cameroon. The coffin ceremony took place today, followed by a mass at the cathedral. He will be buried in his native Mangeng village in the Center region. Beatrice Losamba followed today's activities and our reports.
His funeral starts here at the Yaoundé Cathedral over a month after Professor Michael Tade Eone died. Professor Tade Eone's remains would later be conveyed to the premises of the Advanced School of Mass Communication. Here he had spent over 30 years, first as head of TV department and later the Department of Radio. His stay at the journalism school, excelling passage at the then Cameroon Radio, where he was editor-in-chief, and his numerous publications of over 35 years were revisited as his former colleagues and students paid him academic honors. The media adept with a high-profile academic background had impacted lives, especially with his course of timely publications, which speak volumes of the legacy he's left behind.
He always made sure that the work that he had to do had to be done. He hoped that his memory will never be forgotten.
And his story would never be over without mentioning his strong family and traditional values. Mbombok Tade Eone, the Bassa notable, will be buried in Mangwen 1 in the Center region, where he was born some 70 years back.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Let's talk about our fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Health experts say before receiving any of the doses of the available anti-COVID-19 vaccines, the recipient must first of all be tested negative of the COVID-19. For more questions and answers surrounding the vaccine, let's meet our anti-COVID-19 soldier, Baldwin Sama. Hello, Baldwin.
Good evening to you, Benin Bumagana. There were some persons living with comorbidities, some complicated health issues, who are eager to know whether they should have themselves vaccinated or not during this ongoing vaccination exercise in the 10 different regions of the country. Let's discuss that tonight with Dr. Andreas Njo, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the National Immunization Program. Good evening to you, Doctor. Good evening, Baldwin. Persons living with comorbidities, persons with some complicated health issues, must they have themselves vaccinated?
Yes, of course. The first thing is that the high-risk group are those with comorbidities. They are one of those in the high-risk group. So it is important those who have underlying health conditions like hypertension, like diabetes, chronic lung disease, get vaccinated. Now, the challenge may be with those who are critically sick. Those who are critically sick, I think it might be important to wait until they recover. But whatever the case, at the moment, we think the message is that every person 18 years and above can get to the nearest health facility that offers COVID vaccination and get vaccinated. At this point, the health staff that is there will assess on a case-by-case basis to determine eligibility or not.
You talked about persons who are critically sick. Cameroonians need to understand when you are positive for COVID-19, you must avoid being vaccinated.
For sure, those who have a positive diagnosis for COVID-19 should, of course, wait for at least 6 months before getting vaccinated. The question here is not about being critically sick or not, because there are some who will get positive results, but they will not develop a severe form of the disease. In both cases, it's good to wait for 6 months and then take your vaccine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Andreas Njo. The message is very clear. If you have been tested positive for COVID-19, whether severe or mild symptoms, you have to avoid being vaccinated because it is very, very risky having yourself vaccinated when you are COVID-19 positive. Back to you, Benin Bumagana.
And the message has gone home. Baldwin Samaf and Kamer. This time, 203 newly recruited personnel into the Ministry of Communication have been received by the head of the ministry, Rene Emmanuel Sadi, who cautioned them to be duty-conscious and exemplary citizens. Rita Makang followed the reception and now reports.
The respect of professional ethics, obedience to hierarchy and the right of reserve, according to communication officials, are the key values of the successful career of a good public agent.
I'm so privileged to be a member of this ministry, and I'm happy that the minister took out his time to put us aside to actually tell us about the roles of a civil servant, one of which is to be obedient, to be there at work, like to avoid being absent from work.
This ceremony to warmly welcome the first batch of over 50 new recruits is aimed at instilling the spirit of conviviality.
We were young like them, and we remember that our first steps in our administration was not easy. I see the opportunity to encourage these young people and to let them know that they will succeed in their career through their personal work, personal efforts.
The new public workers were briefed on the organizational chart and reminded of the missions of the Ministry of Communication. Let's recall that there are a total of 203 recruits, 106 and 95 respectively posted at the central and the devolved services.
Over in our cultural rendezvous tonight, Cameroon-born comedian Valérie Ndongo and his comedy crew will be live tonight at the French Institute of Yaoundé. This and more in the following weekend cultural rendezvous by Victor Siga.
We start our cultural rendezvous with comedy. The renowned Cameroonian comedian Valérie Ndongo gives you the appointment at the Yaoundé French Institute at 8 p.m.
Chaque apparition, elle pleure.
Still tonight, join Cameroonian anthropologists and discover the mysteries of mvet, a traditional musical instrument used by the Ekan people in the Central region. Discover Cameroonian and African cuisine tonight at the Yaoundé Conference Center as they celebrate le Festival des Saveurs du Cameroun. Cinema will be on the schedule tonight, Mvet Beyeme by Martin Ambara, a film that narrates the realities of illegal immigration of Africans for greener pasture. Join viewers at Odni Theatre Laboratory in Yaoundé.
You treat me like your sister.
Tomorrow, Saturday, Join Miria Bika, Denise Mounet at 8 p.m. at La Chaumière Jazz Club Yaoundé. Celebrate the Mother's Day this Sunday with Coco Argenté, Major Assé at the Dioga Palace Hotel as from 2 p.m.
Attention, attention, la fête des mères a déjà démarré. Dimanche au 30 mai au Dioga Palace. Si tu n'es pas là, ma copine, je prends ta télécommande WAS.
Happy weekend.
It's a very important decree just coming in from the Presidency of the Republic. Decree number 2021/304 of the 28th of May 2021 to organize an official funeral in honor of Mr. Victor Mukete. The President of the Republic, mindful of the Constitution, mindful of Decree number 74/424 of 16 September 1976 to lay down the rules of protocol applicable in public ceremonies, precedents, and civil and military honors, hereby decrees as follows. Article 1. An official funeral shall be organized in honor of Mr. Victor Mukete, Senator and eldest member of Parliament, who died on the 10th of April 2021 in Yaoundé due to illness. Article 2. The official funeral shall take place on Saturday, the 29th of May 2021 in Kumba, Meme Division, Southwest Region. Article 3. This decree shall be registered, published according to the procedure of urgency and inserted in the official gazette in English and in French. Yaoundé, the 28th of May 2021, signed by the President of the Republic, Paul Biya. And now let's talk sports. The joint CAF FIFA team to inspect facilities to host games and teams during the upcoming AFCON 2021 in Cameroon have expressed satisfaction with the quality of infrastructure Cameroon has made available for the tournament. The team, led by CAF Deputy Scribe Anthony Bafoué, spent 5 days visiting the available facilities in host cities. BrigadeAntiSardinard is here with the balance sheet of the visit.
They came to Cameroon simply to confirm the country's readiness to host the Africa Cup of Nations, given that the different available stadia from Garoua to Bafoussam, passing through Yaoundé, Douala and Limbe meet required norms by the Confederation of African Football for such a competition. At each stop, the joint FIFA CAF delegation was visibly impressed with what they saw.
I'm a former player. Come to a stadium, the first thing I look at is the pitch. And also the training pitch just beside, c'est notre billard. So we are very happy with what we have seen here. And we came here a while ago, and where we are standing now, if the TV takes a good swing, you can see that it's a fantastic facility. So
questions were asked and recommendations given for final touches. Same impression they had as they visited the different health and lodging facilities available. Seduced by what they saw, the joint FIFA CAF inspectors had little or no major recommendations as they leave the country, confident that Cameroon's hosting of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations will simply be a replica of the successful organization of the African Nations Championship.
And 60 cyclists from 10 different cycling teams from Africa and Europe will race for the yellow jersey at the 17th edition of the International Cycling Tour of Cameroon. The different participating teams were presented this evening at the esplanade of the Yaoundé Omisport Stadium. The race begins tomorrow. BrigadeAntiSardinard.
They have come to Cameroon all ready to win at least a lap in the race. 10 different cycling teams from 8 countries, among them the national team of Cameroon and the SNH Velo Club. Team Congo, Team Benin, Côte d'Ivoire, the Netherlands and France already in Cameroon, while Team Bulgaria and Burkina Faso are expected in Cameroon Friday night.
I am come from the Netherlands, and this is my first time in Africa for racing, and I'm very much looking forward to this race.
I want to win one stage. I win one stage in Tour de Faso, one etape in Togo, and here we want to win minimum one stage, maybe 2. We prepare training. Beaucoup de training because there were no races in Holland.
Each team has 6 cyclists, as Cameroon and France each have 2 teams represented. Most of the cyclists are taking part in the race for the first time, with the cyclists to cover 118 kilometers from Yaoundé to Ayos this Saturday for lap 1 of the race.
Thank you very much for following the 7:30 news, a newscast where we got a decree by the President of the Republic organizing an official funeral in honor of Mr. Victor Mukete, Senator and eldest member of Parliament, who died on the 10th of April 2021 in Yaoundé due to illness. The official funeral shall take place on Saturday, 29th of May 2021 in Kumbameme Division of the Southwest Region. Thank you very much for following. At 8:30, Altaba Dinoma will be here with the news in French. I'll be yours tomorrow. Good night. God bless you.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
Morning, bro.
Nah, no, bro. You know say you be my paddy man no. I give you 2 for price for 1.
Chai, bro.
Yes, cause my woman say make I bring you 1 watermelon.
Add this one on top.
One that's 2 watermelon.